Again. Yeah, I know I made a video earlier, but I came home and things didn't go the way I expected for like a majority of this day. So I'm just going to. Yes, that's probably even worse than before. Yeah, whatever. Sorry, I'm looking at myself in the camera. Not what I'm here for. Um, I sorry. Um, I kind of just wanted to talk for a little while. Oh, so sorry that I keep getting ridiculously close to the camera. It's not why we're here, and I should probably think these things through a little bit more. But oh well, what are you gonna do? Wanted to talk a little bit about something that's been kind of more prevalent in my life lately, and like I wanted to talk about it for a bit. So I've kind of come to the conclusion that maybe I should just talk about it, and I can probably do a better video if I want to later. But the fact that it's taking me so long, I was like, let's just do it. Just like the rest of them. Shoddy and on my phone. And not planned out very well. Oh well. Nope, that's not gonna... Oh, no, it happened. So yeah. It's been kind of a little bit more prevalent in my life lately that the fact that as you get older, people kind of pass away. This is not a good way to start this, but that's the kind of what the video is going to be about. Sorry guys, anybody watching this. Yeah. I personally had to deal with somebody passing away recently, and I don't want to downplay it or like be disrespectful. I wasn't as close to this person as it could have been, and I mean, it didn't take away from the fact that I was upset about their passing, or that it didn't take away from the fact that I was upset that they were gone, or I am upset that they are gone, and I've had other people that I know have people pass away or been affected by a loss of somebody that they care about. And so I was like, maybe talking about it will help, and if it doesn't help me, maybe it'll help somebody else. Who knows? But it's not really something that I was told about growing up. And I mean, how often do you talk to younger people about like funerals and people passing away? Like, if it's like a really big person in the family and clearly everybody's upset about it, somebody will probably end up talking to like the younger kids about it and be like, this is what happened, this is why everybody's sad. And you can understand to a certain extent. And for some people, unfortunately, you have bigger people in your family passing away when you're younger, and you have to deal with this kind of thing, and like you understand it at a younger age, and I'm sure that affects everybody in different ways, but also in some similar ways, because you're still losing somebody and you're still dealing with that loss. And especially if you're at a younger age, it's if it's somebody close to you, it's a little bit harder to cope with a loss of somebody who's supposed to help you as you grow up. To which I say, I'm very sorry if you have dealt with something like that. I wouldn't want to imagine what that would be like. But as you get older, it starts to become kind of inevitable. Like, it's gonna happen. You get, as much as you've grown and gotten older, so have the people who have been there for you and been around you. People who play a big part in your life and who have helped you to grow into the person that you are. Every step, milestone that you've been through, they've been on one in their own lives. And you don't necessarily think about that when you're growing up because you're focused on so much of your youth, everything is a huge deal. Like, there's so many milestones, and each of them is towards something that you're grasping towards. You're like, oh my goodness, I want to grow up. I want to be able to take care of myself, do whatever on my own. And it's like a prize to be able to become an adult or to be able to be mature enough to do whatever you want on your own time. But then you get older, and the people around you have gotten older as well, and it kind of leads towards one, people your own age starting to move towards like really mature steps, like getting married or having kids or getting their dream jobs or like starting their careers and their lives, and other people moving towards the later years of their lives, and some of them passing on. So I just, I don't necessarily wish that somebody had told me that this was going to be a thing I was going to have to deal with, but it wasn't until recently that my mom actually told me. She was like, this is part of what growing up is, learning how to cope with these things, learning how to deal with it. And as I grew up, it was a million different things that I had to grow to learn and understand and have a part of my life, but I didn't realize that growing up was also going to mean having this other side lesson. Like, there's millions of things that people are constantly like, oh, growing up means that you're gonna have to learn how to take care of yourself and actually like do dishes and pay for your own utilities and food and places to live and etc., etc. But you also have to deal with other like growing up, like a lot of other things comes with its downfalls, I guess. um so I mean, it's normal, and for me personally it was really hard. The first time I lost somebody really big in my life, because I didn't realize that this was what was going to happen as part of growing up. Like, it wasn't something in the front of my mind. It wasn't something that I was thinking about, obviously. So when the person who passed away recently passed away, I didn't know what to do, but I was really nervous because the first time I got kind of depressed. I tried really hard to be there for other people without letting myself deal with my own feelings, and it was really bad for me. It was really unhealthy, and I wasn't ashamed of being upset as long as I was, but I felt like it was unnecessary. I felt like I was being too sensitive and just kind of being childish about things, but in reality I was hurting myself by not letting myself just feel things to the extent that I needed to and work through my feelings. So this time around, like, it was definitely a blessing. I had friends that were there for me and stuff recently that were trying to help me to figure out how to feel my feelings and how to just let things happen. So I opened up to family members and I asked for help, and I asked for their opinions on how to deal with things, and they were like, just cry if you need to cry. Don't feel stupid about feeling upset. It doesn't matter how well you knew this person or not. The fact that you lost somebody is a big deal. I think maybe part of it was not so much, or not just that I was losing somebody, but that meant that I was losing opportunities to be able to know that person better, to be able to know myself through knowing that person better because they were part of my family, and like any opportunity to just like do all the things that I said that I wanted to do, like be there with them more, be there for them more. And it happened the last time too. Just losing that and feeling like I was losing part of my identity by losing somebody that I was related to was a big deal. And I think part of why I got upset and why other people get upset, I'm sure. And then obviously just not being able to get to know them more as a person and not just as this person fits into my family this way. This is like their standing. Like you have your grandma, you grow up and that's like you are my grandma. You don't think of them like you are this person who had this favorite color and watched this movie and it was your favorite movie and grew up and this is what you did when you grew up. Like you hear the stories, but it's just a part of the role that they play in your life, and it's not necessarily um, how like you don't just think of them as a person, like a whole person, and you miss out on being able to learn as much as possible when somebody passes away. So there's a lot to it, and I think that being able to be honest about how you feel and just letting yourself feel things, talking things out is important. And I just think it's really important to not feel alone because in my life anyway, I wasn't expecting this. I wasn't really. I don't think anybody's ever ready to lose somebody that they care about, regardless of how close you were to them or not. But I don't think that it's something that everybody talks about a lot, especially as a part of growing up. Like, it's just another aspect of it, I think. And nobody really talks about that. So I think, like, just being aware and being able to appreciate the time that you have with people is really important. Sometimes we take it for granted because we're just coming out of being kids and into a point in time where life is a lot about ourselves and figuring out who we are. It can be kind of jarring. So, yeah, I think that's enough of me for today. This is a really long video, but yeah, I think I said everything that I wanted to say. I'll talk to you later. Bye.